So today we will see how to create a SQLite database from a Python program. Now first we'll learn how to import this library. So when we say a built-in, it means that you don't even need to run pip install to acquire this library. Simply just import it by writing import SQLite 3 as SL, or you can name anything that you want. Now after this we will need to create a connection with our database. So for that we will write connection, or that is a variable name which I have given, equals to sl.connect, and here we will mention the database name. So now after we run this line of code, we have created the database and connected to it already. This is because the database which we asked the Python to connect to is not existing. So that is automatically created an empty one. Otherwise, we can use exactly the same code to connect to an existing database also. Now, we'll see how to use it. So, once we have created a connection, we will need a cursor object to call the different SQL commands. And to run this command, we will use this execute function. Now here, as you can see, there is an example where we have created a variable C, which is having our connection object, and we have called a cursor method. So here, after building a successful connection, we have created our cursor object to call our execute method. And in this method, as its argument, we will pass our SQL commands. Now this connection.commit indicates that to save the changes which we have done right now. And now this connection.close function indicates to close the connection with the database. So now we will implement this thing in our PyCharm Studio. Now as you can see, I have already created one PyCharm project, okay, and I have given it the name SQLite, and here I have created a Python file. Now in this code, as you can see, I have already imported our SQLite 3. Okay. Now first, here we have defined a function called createConnection method that connects to an SQLite database specified by the database file name. Inside this function, we have called this connect function, okay, of the SQLite 3 model. Now this connect functions open a connection to an SQLite database, which returns a connection object that represents the database. So now by using this connection object, you can perform various database operations. Now, in case an error occurs, we catch it within this try except block and display the error message. Now, if everything is fine, we display the SQLite database version. Okay, and in our finally block, I have closed our connection. So, it is a very good programming practice that you should always close the database connection when you complete with it. And now, second, as you can see in our main method, we have passed this function createConnection, and here I have given the database name. Now the second example is, as you can see, here I have given another absolute path for creating this database. So beside this, if I pass this, now here as you can see that if we pass the path of the database file to the createConnection function to create the database, note here that we have using the prefix r, which indicates the Python that we are passing a raw string. So this is another way to create or to give an absolute path to create a database. Otherwise, we can simply give the relative database path, which will create our database in this project structure only. So we'll go to our relative database path and we'll run this project. So here as you can see, our connection has run successfully. So that's why it has given me the version number of Python. And here as you can see that we have created one Python SQLite database successfully. So now let's sum up what we learned in this video. We have learned how to import this SQLite library in Python. We have learned how to create the connection using the connection method. And we have also used this complete example in our PyCharm Studio as well. So in our next video, we'll see how to create a table in our PyCharm Studio using this SQLite module.